Hello and welcome back to Thomas's Moustache. Today we are midway through, well, is it midway? Not quite, but about a third of the way through Movember. And as you can see, I'm still sporting the good stash, the pencil mustache, which is today's subject, of course. Before we start, of course, we just want to again touch on, because it's Movember, one of the few opportunities we can talk about it, right? Is men's health, of course, mental health, physical health. So just make sure that this month, if you have any friends or family who might be struggling with such things, you can be an ear for them, you can be a shoulder for them, a good support structure within us. The gentleman community is beyond needed. Now today, of course, we are sporting the pencil mustache, and this month the subject will be probably only the pencil mustache, because I have it. So why not talk about it? So today we are going to be talking about the pencil mustache, not necessarily my pencil mustache, but the pencil mustache. Now, the pencil mustache was popularized in the 1930s, 1940s, cinema, of course, with such characters as Clark Gables, which I had a gentleman on my video commenting about Clark Gables and myself, and, well, giving me some motivation, giving me some self-confidence, I suppose you could say. So quite like that. That's very welcomed, and that's of course what we want here, right, on the channel, is we want the community in the comment section, right? So the pencil mustache was popularized nearly about 100 years ago, and let's talk about it. Now, the pencil mustache, when you say pencil mustache, of course you think of Clark Gables from Gone in the Wind. You might think of, what was the father's name? Well, Mr. Addams, right, from the Addams Family. What was his name again? I forget. But you know, I'll put pictures up, of course. But Gomez, I think it was Gomez Addams, right, from the Addams Family. There you go. So you got Gomez Addams, more of a recent character. Of course, the show is a lot older than many people think. Some people think, oh, it's only 1990s. No, Addams Family was back in the black and white, I believe it was. But anyway, who else has a pencil mustache? I'm thinking about some real specific characters like Zorro from The Mask of Zorro. He had a pencil mustache, right? So when I think about pencil mustaches, I tend to think about these sort of characters that are very sure of themselves, very confident. They've got a sort of charisma that's just difficult to rival, right? Zorro, of course, the master bladesman, he's a master of his craft, right? He's cutting Zeds into people's clothing, right, as a demonstration of his skill. Gomez from the Addams Family, he's, you know, he dresses the part, he can dance like no other. He's got his wife that he loves, of course. What was her name, Morticia or something? And then, of course, you have Clark Gables as, the names are not coming to me today, but from Gone in the Wind, of course. Amazing pencil mustache. He was very charismatic in that show, or sorry, that movie. Definitely a real man's man, I would say. Now, talking about the pencil mustache, it didn't last very long in relation to other styles, such as the lampshade, the broom handle, or what do they call it, the paintbrush, you know, all these ones, the chevron, handlebar, right? But the pencil mustache is the easiest mustache in the world to maintain. Well, maintaining maybe not, but to have. Because It does require more trimming. It does require more shaping. It does require regular trimming, regular shaping, but it does not tickle your nose with the top hairs if you're wearing a mask. That's my biggest issue, is nose hair, or not nose hairs, but mustache hairs tickling the nose. It doesn't get in your mouth, right? And yet it still looks good, I would say, personally. Some people might not agree, which is probably why not many people have pencil mustaches. But I gotta say, and no, I'll save it for the next video, but I'll tell you more about my personal opinion about that. There will be some overlap. Anyway, when I think about characters in movies with pencil mustaches, I tend to think about a character who is really living their life, you know. They might not be living in a world that is very friendly to them. Talking about the 1930s, of course, 1940s, the world wasn't a very friendly place. The economy was not in the best of conditions in the earlier years, of course. So you've got these characters that are drinking brandy, that are dressing smart, that are pomading their hair, that are, you know, they're characters in of themselves, because they are something that is difficult to be, right? They're confident in a time that there should be no confidence, in a difficult time, in a challenging time, in an unstable time. They are stable characters, right? Because they're sure of themselves, they're sure of their abilities. And that's one great thing about the pencil mustache, is they choose this shape to represent that wonderful quality of just being somebody that others can trust in a situation. Maybe, you know, you're not really the most likable character, but people can be sure of you. They can say, in a tough spot, this guy will be able to handle it, right? So I like that about the pencil mustache, that it has that sort of characteristic in movies, that these characters, and I think they're all likable in their own way. All these characters are usually likable in their own way, because they're something that, there's a quality about them that's desirable, which is that sureness, that self-confidence, that suave characteristic. So in conclusion about the pencil mustache, it's a good style. You saw in my video about the handlebar mustache, it requires a lot of maintenance, especially in hot and humid climates. The pencil is really so easy. You got to trim it often, much more often than any other style I've had. But in the next video, we're going to be talking about my experience this month with the pencil mustache, and I think you're going to like it. So until next time, I'll say Too-da-Loo.